Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Nutrition Health Connection show. It's secrets to overcoming the stress we all feel at times this week.
Welcome to the Nutrition Health Connection Show with Becky Mulcahy and Cindy Philippi, where we share with you valuable secrets, tips, and the latest discoveries for your true health choices.
Hi, everybody. I'm Becky Mulcahy.
Hi, and I'm Cindy Philippi.
We first of all want to thank you so much for the wonderful support and encouragement we've received from you guys. And I was saying this week, it's kind of like having a baby. It's scary and it's hard, but it's fun and it's rewarding. We like it a lot. So we do appreciate all the feedback and the interaction from you guys. And on that note, please remember, go ahead and put comments down in the comment box for us, questions, anything you want to say or ask, or suggestions for shows, any of that stuff. We love, to hear where you're from, and it's fun. It's all good. And anybody who still want to interact by phone and or email instead, that's great. Go ahead and do that with us. I should say my iPhone has been totally freaking out this week, so I think I'm back to Android again, but anyways, I'll get that done this afternoon. So everybody's welcome to contact us by email or phone, though. We'd like that. However you want to do it is just awesome. And today our show is going to center around stress, which is a very common item that people need help with. It's actually the number one complaint that people turn to doctors for now. 2/3 of all doctor visits are stress related. How crazy is that? So we're all subjected to stress from time to time. Some people more than others, sometimes more than others, and it's caused a lot of problems, even people turning to drugs and alcohol for relief. We'll show you guys some little known methods and techniques and more common things you can do on your own that can help with this to bring your life more back into balance in a healthy way. Children should be taught this when they're young, so they don't have the problems that we go through for our whole life before we learn how to do this stuff. 60% of adults report they have moderate to high stress. 33% of children report they do have moderate to high stress. And 69% of adults feel that their stress does not affect their children, but 86% of children say it does affect them.
I was surprised by that, Beck, because if 69% of adults feel they're not stressing out their children, I've always felt that when I'm stressed out, it's affecting everybody around me. So that really surprises me.
Yeah, I think so too, and it's kind of sad. It's common, but I think that kids are very sensitive, and like our pets are very sensitive. I mean, I think there's energy, and it goes around like that, and it does have an effect on everybody around us, adults and kids. And our kids look to us for everything. So they're under a lot of stress and pressure too now. Also, elderly parents or grandparents, they have their own set of challenges they need help with too. And the sandwich generation, which is usually like 40 to 60-year-olds, helping both sides, their children and their parents or grandparents, are really getting crunched up in the middle. And so, if you can learn how to balance some stress out, learn some of these techniques, your personal interactions with your kids, with your parents, grandparents, everybody at work or anything is easier, and it's more enjoyable when everybody's stress is lowered. So we're going to try to go over some of the interesting things about stress, the causes, symptoms, the techniques that we can utilize to make it better for all of us. Some of the major stresses in life are major life changes, work, children, finances, relationship difficulties, too many obligations, and the economy. And the most common coping techniques that people just are winging it, what they do is 33% skip meals, 40% overeat, and 40% lose sleep. So not really that effective in coping techniques. If you have chronic stress that goes on, it taxes the adrenal glands to the point of shutting them down. This depletes your energy dramatically, and it also compromises the immune system. So that's where we hear about heart attacks, migraines, weight gain, which is also tied to cortisol elevation. And when fat and sugar are eaten in combination, opioids are released by the brain, and this lessens the stress, so you feel better, but only for a little while. And then it's worse. So we don't like that overall. There's better ways to do this. We do have some slides that we want to share with you. Cindy's gonna. Are you ready to queue up the slides, Cindy?
Yeah, they should be showing. Are they not showing?
Okay, yeah, I still see it. Yep. Let me pin you though. Okay, there we go.
Am I up?
You're up. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, now defining stress. Of course, we all have an idea of what stress is, but in general, it's what you feel when you have to handle more than you're used to, and your body responds as though you are in danger. Your hormones, your breathing, and give you a burst of energy. It's like the fight or flight stress response. Your body that goes back to way back when we had to be on guard. We lived in a cave and had to make sure that if we were ready to run if some big animal came along and was trying to eat us or something like that. So that's just part of our genetics. And Becky went over a lot of the major stressors already that we have in life. I think two of the biggest ones, Becky, aren't they moving and marriage?
Yes, divorce. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, relationship difficulties, too many obligations. Yeah, you mentioned. I think you mentioned some of these. The economy. That's, I'm sure, been a big issue for a lot of people lately. And you mentioned the statistics already. The 2/3 of all visits to the doctor are related to stress, and 60% of the adults report moderate to high stress, and 33% of children report moderate to high stress. I mean, that just, what does that say about our society right now, Becky? I mean, it didn't used to be this high.
Yeah, it is crazy. So, it's 2/3 of the visits that people are trying to find relief from. So there's reasons for this, sadly.
Yes. Now, there is some beneficial stress. That's what gets us out of bed in the morning. We've got things we have to do. If we need to get to work, we need to work hard, we need to meet a deadline, and if you need to react quickly. If something unexpected happens or there's an emergency and you need to put it in gear, that's when the stress is good. But there are a lot of a lot of bad side effects from stress, and it happens when we stress too often or it lasts too long. And some of the problems that we have are headaches, stomach ache, back pain, trouble sleeping. It weakens our immune system, which we'll talk about nutrition later, but that's why you have to have good nutrition to counteract it, because it helps to keep your immune system functioning properly, to keep you well. The stress can make current health issues that you have worse. Again, another issue where nutrition is key. It can make you moody, tense, depressed. Your relationships can suffer. Your work and your productivity suffers. You can have problems at work, on your job, just all kinds of stuff. So now here's the. Did you have any other comments on that, or should we just hop right into how to lower it, Becky?
I was just gonna, a few more of the things that I have here is some of the, physical results from stress that evolves into the fight or flight syndrome. It includes a reduction in saliva, rapid heartbeat, widen blood vessels, your pupils dilate, so your stomach temporarily stops functioning because blood is diverted to the muscles and stuff for quick response. And your muscles are very tense and ready for action, and the body releases epinephrine and norepinephrine. So that's some of the different things that happens within you. And then every cell, when you're stressed, every cell is stressed within seconds when that happens, because the large blood vessels are very close to the adrenal glands for fast response time in case of danger or emergencies. And so this all happens very quickly, and your body's flooded with these hormones that can last for a long time.
Okay. Did
That's
we didn't mention here just real quick? Put a comment, or did you? You know, I might have missed it when I was doing my setup about making sure you put comments below if you have any questions as we go along.
mm-hmm. Yeah, I mentioned it.
Okay. I was so involved in setting up the intro and stuff, I missed that. Okay. Then our next slide goes to how to lower it. So some of the techniques for doing that is managing your time better, prioritizing, setting a schedule. You know, one of the big stressors is you're trying to get all the done, and it just keeps weighing on your mind that you've got all this stuff, and by doing that you actually make it harder for yourself to get the tasks done that you have to get done. So if you use some really good time management techniques, write everything down, prioritize it, get yourself on a schedule and say, hey, I'm going to do this right now, and this doesn't have to be done until tomorrow. And I used this when I was in college, and I just learned about something called a brain dump, which is very similar, and that is at the end of the day, sit down and dump everything out of your brain that's worrying you and on your mind, and you really want, it's keeping you from going to sleep, going to sleep. You write it all down, and then you go through and you prioritize it. And the stuff that absolutely has to get done is number 1 and number 2. And then you keep going down to where you get down to the stuff that's not quite so important. And then start at the bottom, and it's like, do I really need to do this? And if you don't really need to do it, if it's something that's just really not that important, knock it off your list. And then I think we have a slide here that talks about delegating. You know, what can you delegate away? You know, ask people for help. Figure out the stuff that you don't absolutely have to have. And then in college, what I would do is I'd print out a calendar or make myself a calendar and start with like when my tests were and write down when my tests were. And then work backwards. Now, I had to study this much by then and this much by then. And once I could visually see it on a calendar, it really calmed me down because I felt like I had control of it again, and that's so important. So time management techniques and all that just really, really are important. Taking care of yourself, eating well, don't smoke and limit your alcohol, which those are stressors to your body. And I've been talking about stop worrying, write it down, let go of stuff, and learn to say no to people. Speak up. Tell people what's going on and ask for help. So that's all part of that whole technique. Kind of going along with that is journal writing. At the end of the day, write a journal of how your day went and what was going on and how you were feeling, and just help. It's again, like a brain dump. It's settling your mind down by thinking about it and writing it down and being calm. Don't be afraid to let your feelings out, and focus on the present. That's one of the, setting up the schedule like I did when I was in college. I could focus on the present and not worry about the test because I knew what I had to do right now. And you can worry and worry and worry about tomorrow or this afternoon or next week, but what good is it going to do you? So if you focus on the present, then that's where things are happening that you need to deal with. Did you want to talk about like meditating, Becky?
It's one of the most popular methods these days. You can do it right from home. It's very effective, and it's getting very, very popular. Along with yoga, stretching, walking is one of the best things that people like. That they get good response with. The exercise stuff really helps. Stretching, yoga, tai chi. There's also sound therapy, which is very, very interesting with the different part of that movement, but now it's very popular. And it is kind of cool and interesting to hear that stuff. Relaxing music can help, and roll breathing. And progressive muscle relaxation, where you deliberately tense all your muscles, starting with the top of your head, and then all the way down your body to your toes, and tensing and then relaxing as you go. Focusing on your breath going in and out, and muscles tensing and releasing like that is relaxing. That those things are very helpful for that.
Yeah, and there's you can get tapes and books, self-help stuff, or go take a meditation class, and connect up with other people who are interested in that type of thing and get support, and network with people. And then there's this new site out called calm.com, and that is really cool. You can set it to play calming music. It has calming pictures, and you can set it for a certain amount of time. So you can just go in there and play, and it's really relaxing. I was playing it yesterday when I found out about it.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It's an ocean. I love the ocean anyways, so I live by the ocean, and water, something about the water is very calming like that. So it was beautiful. Sunlight on the water with nice music. It was great. So
Yeah, and that fits right in with the sound therapy that we were talking about. And the 30-day challenge. Did you want to talk about the 30-day challenge, Becky?
30-day challenge. People love challenges, and why not do one to help your stress level and teach your children, your parents, yourself about these techniques, and do a challenge, for yourself or with your family. Some of the things you can do in the 30-day challenge: set your priorities of what's important and let the other things go. Figure out tasks that you can share or delegate, and ask for help with things that you need help with. If you get organized, the clutter is stressful, and so if you just get rid of things that you don't want anymore. When I go take my kids' old clothes or get rid of stuff that we don't want anymore around here, it is so nice. It's like it's out of my face, out of my way, and that's super nice. That's calming right there. It's very helpful. Set short-term goals that you can reach, each of you, and then reward yourself for meeting them. And you want to, with kids, especially if you're going to do this with your children, you want to make it fun, so they can have an outing to somewhere or whatever you're going to do. And learn how to say no. You know what? It's okay to say no. There's like people just glomming, for everything these days, and you don't have to say yes on every single thing that you're asked to do. Learning how to say no is very empowering, and we can only spread ourselves so thin, and we have to match our priorities, which is feeling like we have control of our life and having enough time for the priorities that we have. Also laughing. We have a coffee shop in Bellingham, Washington, called Supreme Bean Coffee Cafe, and there's a lady, one of my customers comes in there, and she actually leads a class like there on laughing, and she comes in, she's all about that, and it's very proven, the health benefits of laughing. And I'm like, how do you just laugh like on cue or in a course or whatever? But she's done this for years, and people love that class, and I guess it has tremendous health benefits to it, and she's really a darling lady, so it must be working. Okay, so and then you guys can pick music that you want to do for your 30-day challenge, relaxing music that everybody likes. Of course, the yoga, rebounding. If you get a really one of the better quality rebounders and you do it at a certain speed, it actually is what will is the best thing for moving your lymph through your body, which is a cleansing system. But it's not on a circulatory system. It takes muscle tensing or like rebounding to move it through your body. So rebounding is very helpful with that. Tai Chi is very popular. And talking to each other or teaching your children that to talk about things, issues that are bothering them with either friends or family members, um, just letting those feelings out is very calming and also bonding, within a lot of cases. So those connections with other people are very important. People live much longer that have more family and community connections. The more you have, the longer you live. And it's also the same with pets. If you have pets, cats or dogs, they're shown to live longer if you have pets. Um, Something about the interaction, stroking the pets, and it works.
Yeah.
And also setting aside some time to be alone. And it's, you know what, it's really hard to sit still. It doesn't sound very hard. If you try to just sit still and do nothing for 10 minutes, it's really quite a challenge. I'm working on that. Because it is, they say, get control of yourself like that and learn that you can just sit still and just try to relax your mind and relax your body for 10 minutes for yourself. And if you can go outdoors, it's best out in nature. We all know how relaxing it is if we go to the mountains or we go by a lake. Outside is good. It's also away from all the electronic distractions that we have, which are stressful in themselves somewhat. So,
Yeah,
and
hallelujah. Get away from the phone. Get away from the
yeah,
computer.
yep.
Yeah, and you were talking about pets. I mean, pets are so good for people. You
Mhm.
know, they really, when you are petting your dog or petting your cat, it's very, very relaxing for you. That's why they have pet therapy, where, the people take their trained dogs uh, into nursing homes, and because it's really good for people. It's good for their health. It's good for their mood. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, that's really a neat thing.
Yeah. And I think that's getting more and more recognized. My mother-in-law in Alaska has had some health challenges lately, and she was in the hospital about a week ago. She has a 110-pound German Shepherd, a darling one named Bella.
Ooh.
And they actually let her come in there because she needed to go and see her. And it was the best thing for her. And I just think that, we're recognizing more and more that it's not just body parts that we're treating. We're holistic people, and it's the mind, spirit, body connection all together. And these pets like that really make a difference in your mindset, and that heals your body. So I think it's all tied together, and I was really happy that they would do that, that they're doing things more like that. We've all heard about, therapy dogs and stuff, therapy cats too. And in nursing homes, they often have, like when my dad was in a nursing home over in Spokane, they had a resident cat there, and he would just like roll around, go into all the different rooms and go see everybody and whatever. The people loved him. It was really good for them. And they're all like, oh, he's in my room now. Oh, he's coming to my room. And, it's just a big deal. Things like that. The love that they can show you and the connection is powerful. It's really good. So I'm a big believer in the whole pets are a great thing.
Yeah, definitely. Now, on top of all of that wonderful stuff, there's also products out there that are very helpful. And the a lot of you have probably already heard of essential oils. This is only three of quite a few that are out there. We just grabbed a few as an example. If you go to the green button below the show, there's one that says counteract stress, and there's a lot more information on all of this in there. there's a lot more information on stress, and so it's a good resource. Plus, at the bottom it shows you some of these products. De-stress and Stress Ease are two of the longevity products that are good for counteracting stress. And they have something called the stress pendant, which they've probably been around for a while, but I hadn't really thought about it. But it's, if you work in front of a computer a lot, it's for counteracting all the electrical magnetic energy that's in the air. And then, of course, I mentioned earlier that good nutrition is just critical, because stress affects your immune system, and it affects, like Becky was saying, every cell in your body. But your body, as long as it has complete nutrition, it can counteract that to a great extent. It beefs up your body so you're ready for it, and you can handle it. So the essential nutrients is just critical.
Exactly. And you burn up a lot more nutrients when you're under stress. B vitamins are super critical. The de-stress is full of high B vitamins. And it is a safety network, just the 90 essential nutrients that we all need every day of our life. It's a good safety net, and you're going to keep yourself from getting sick, because if your immune system's compromised, your kids are in school, they're picking up all the cooties, and then it's all getting shared around. You can ward off a lot of that stuff with a healthy immune system. So de-stressing techniques like this, and then the nutrients that your body needs to protect itself, are a great combination.
Definitely. So go to that de-stress button below, and in that link there's another video on stress, and there's some more information on how to de-stress and things to do with some of the things that we just went over. And then it also has some of the products that you can get that are very helpful if you're under a lot of stress.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's the end of my presentation. As far as so come back.
Hey, where's Cindy?
I'll find me here.
There we go.
Oh, there we are. It always takes a couple, 3 clicks before it'll show me back on.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I love those slides. They're nice, and we could put up video clips or whatever. That works out super good. So,
yeah.
Yep, good. Okay, well, I think that's about it for this week. We'd like to ask you put comments and questions down below. Again, just a little reminder, we love the comment section down there. We'll have our regular show on next Wednesday again. We had to switch it to Friday for personal reasons for Cindy, but we'll be back to our normal Wednesday schedule starting this Wednesday. And of course, you can click through to the YouTube channel and watch our past episodes there if you like to. And we will see you on Wednesday. Anything else you wanted to add, Cindy?
No, that's it. And so happy you joined us, and hope you got a lot of value out of it. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for watching this week's show. Be sure to join us next week when we reveal more hidden facts of the Nutrition Health Connection for you.